Uber has told the court that it was right for its licence not to be renewed last year because of safety concerns. On the first day of a hearing to decide its future here, the app firm admitted TfL's ruling was right at the time, but it insisted there had been major changes since. Let's go over to Alex Iszatt, who's at Westminster Magistrates for us. Alex, just tell us a little bit more.
Now, Uber says it has made a clean break from all its old ways. The new general manager, Tom Elvidge, speaking today here on the first day of the appeal, said that he did agree with everything that TfL had said in its 21-page document. It had cited concerns with public safety and security. Mr. Elvidge went on to say that they have made a whole host of changes across the board, including the hiring process and insurance. He also said that all regulations would now be changed. He said that a software that had been previously historically used by Uber, which was allowing it to skirt around regulations, was wrong and it would no longer be used. Whatever happens here at this appeal, which goes on for the next couple of days, could affect not just Uber, but any potential taxi sharing app. I went and spoke to Caroline Pigeon on the Transport Committee earlier today.
Our main concern is making sure that passengers are safe. But this is a licensing decision. This is Transport for London, who have looked at the evidence from Uber and whether it's a suitable operator in London, and they have concluded, against their criteria, that TfL is not able to operate and meet the conditions of licence. Uber are challenging this. We'll see what happens in the court. But ultimately, passengers have got to be safe in this city. And that means drivers have to have proper checks. This means that, vehicles need to be fully insured. It needs to make sure drivers know what they're doing and vehicles are safe. And that is where TfL, as the company that licenses in London, needs to make sure and be assured of that. And I think the problem with Uber is they weren't. And that's why they chose to reject this. And we'll see what happens in the court. Black taxi drivers in the industry and other private hire operators have all raised concerns for some time. And it's not just about Uber. There are other operators. There are other apps coming on. It's Uber today. It will be another, app tomorrow. What we've got to make sure is that everyone plays by the rules. And if they don't, then they're not allowed to operate in this city. And across the country, there are a number of other licensing authorities. I think Brighton might be one of others, where they've said, actually, we're not going to license Uber. We don't think you meet our conditions. Well, TfL raised a lot of concerns. I believe there are about 30 in total with Uber and how it is operating in London and how it doesn't meet the rules of the city. And it's now for the courts to decide. But my view is, if you're in London, you play by our rules or you get out.
Now, according to Uber, there are 3.6 million users of its app in London alone. Now, it's asking for an 18-month renewal of its licence, not the 5 years that it originally stated. Mr. Elvidge has said that it would make sure that everything would be compliant from now on. In fact, he said that they'd hired 3 new managers to ensure total compliance across the board. This hearing will go on for the next few days, and we will see where it goes.
OK, Alex Iszatt there for us over at West.